Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from the campus of Weymouth High School in Weymouth, Massachusetts. Here to bring you tonight's second part of a girls soccer doubleheader. Thank you to all those who tuned in for our JV game broadcast. We just wrapped up that JV game, and now it's time for the varsity matchup between the hosting Wildcats of Weymouth High School and the visiting Brookline High Warriors. Brookline coming off a thrilling last-second victory at home against Braintree on Tuesday, as junior co-captain Sydney Freeze scored with about 30 seconds left in the game to give Brookline a 2-1 victory over the Womps, improved their record to 5-2-1 on the year. Power rankings came out before Tuesday's games, and so at the time with a record of 4-2-1, Brookline came in ranked 9th in the MIAA Division I power rankings. They face off against a Weymouth squad currently sitting at 19th in the power rankings. They were 2-4-1 at the time of those power rankings. We got about 7.5 minutes on the pregame clock before we get this one started, so let's take a look at the rosters coming into today's game, and let's start here with the hosts, the Weymouth High Wildcats. Going in order of jersey number, first off, we have number 0, Katera Lawson. Next, number 2, Maeve Grable. Number 3, Nikki Morales. Number 4, Maggie Cullivan. Number 5, Kira Keenan. Number 6, Leah Goodine. Number 7, Kabina Lip. Number 8, Grace Garner. Number 9, Avery Tufts. Number 10, Katie Fuller. Number 11, Ava Dewitt. Number 12, Tara Quinn. Number 13, Maddie Taylor. Number 14, Bella Taylor. Number 15, Riley Keneally. Number 16, Becca Brooks. Number 17, Sydney Sardano. Number 18, Anna Rice. Number 19, Ella Scalisi. Number 20, Caitlin McHugh. Number 21, Maddie Palmer. Number 22, Sawi Safarian. Number 23, Molly Tufts. Number 24, Molly Powers. Number 25, Sky Gibbons. And number 30, Megan Owen. So those are the players on the roster for the Weymouth High Wildcats. Now let's take a look at the roster for the visiting Brookline High Warriors. Going in order of jersey number, once again, first off we have a freshman, number 1, Paige Hammond. Next, a sophomore, number 3, Jada Kimbrough. A junior manager, number 4, Ashley Cherwin. A junior captain with 2 goals and a team-leading 3 assists so far this season, number 5, Vilena Chernichev. A freshman with 2 assists on the year, number 7, Haley Ament. A freshman, number 8, Juliana Siegel. A junior with 1 goal on the season, number 9, McKenna Hammond. A senior captain tied for the team lead with 4 goals on the year, number 12, Amra Ukamadu. A sophomore, number 13, Julia Vianello. A sophomore with 1 assist on the year, number 14, Mirabelle Kesselman. A junior, number 15, Babette Hall. A junior, number 16, Nora Shue. A sophomore with 1 assist on the year, number 17, Lila Cannon. A junior captain with 1 goal and 1 assist on the year, number 18, Anna Leshley. A junior captain tied for the team lead with 4 goals, number 19, Sydney Freeze. A sophomore, number 20, Amalia Lindgren Palm. A junior, number 21, Greta Radke. A freshman, number 23, Jamison McGee. A senior with 1 goal on the year, number 24, Emma Eisenhower. And the 2 goalies on the roster for Brookline, a junior, Julia Cherwin, and a freshman, Chloe Price. Head coach of the Brookline High girls soccer team is Ben Peters. So there's our roster for the Brookline High Warriors. I mentioned the 2 team leaders in goals, Amra Ukamadou and Sydney Freeze. What I did not tell you is that those 2 are actually on a bit of a scoring streak. Ukamadou and Freeze have both scored in each of Brookline's last 2 games. Those of you who watched my live stream of the Newton South game last weekend, you saw some brilliant breakaway goals from both of them. And then, of course, they both scored in the 2-1 win over Braintree on Tuesday, including Freeze's game winner with seconds left to go in the game. For Ukamadou, this streak has actually simply taken place over the last 6 games. All 4 of her goals in the last 6 after she didn't score in the first 2. And she has scored 3 of her goals in the last 4 games, so an impressive scoring streak from both of them. And for Ukamadou, she has already tied her goal totals from each of the last 2 seasons, as she's been an offensive powerhouse for Brookline ever since she joined the varsity squad as a sophomore 2 years ago. She's had 4 goals in each of the past 2 seasons. I think she had about 5 assists in the regular season last year and 4 assists the year before. No helpers as of yet this season, but you feel like with a player of her caliber, it's just a matter of time. Freeze, on the other hand, a defensive specialist with 0 goals for her varsity career coming in, and now she's tied for the team lead. What an impressive display of versatility from Sydney Freeze. We got a little over a minute left on the pregame clock here at Weymouth High School in Weymouth, Massachusetts. Brookline against Weymouth. Warriors against Wildcats. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and you are watching Brookline High Soccer. Kick through, finds its target, Freeze! There's the whistle, shot is in! Sends a leading pass, crashing, Leslie! Scores! All right. That was our game pregame intro video. As you might have noticed, that's our first time featuring in all clips from this season in our intro video, so that's kind of nice to see. Starting lineups coming in for the 2 teams.
Number 12, Amara Okamoto. Number 13, Julia Vianello. Number 15, Babbitt Hall. Number 16, Nora Shev. Number 17, Willa Cannon. Number 18, Hannah Wesley. Number 19, Sydney Freeze. Number 24, Emma Eisenhower. And in goal, Julia for our Weymouth Wildcats. Number 30, Megan Owen. Number 9, Avery Tuff. Number 10, Katie Fuller. Number 11, Ava DeWitt. Number 12, Tara Quinn. Number 16, Captain Becca Brooks. Number 18, Captain Anna Rice. Number 19, Ella Salisi. Number 21, Captain Maddie Palmer. Number 23, Molly Tufts. And number 25, Sky Gibbons. Would everybody please rise for the playing of the national anthem?
All right, those were the starting lineups and our national anthem. And we will soon be getting this one underway. Reminder, as always, if you end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. We're going to be seeing a lot of soccer action this weekend at Skyline Park in Brookline. The boys' soccer with a double header on Saturday, JV and varsity playing back-to-back. You know, hopefully it's not raining too hard that day, as they will be playing a JV game at 1, varsity game at 3 against Chelmsford. And then on Sunday, we got another 3 p.m. game, this time for this team, the girls' varsity team, as they will be hosting the Flyers of Framingham. That game on Sunday will be at 3 as well, so be sure to stay tuned for all those games and more. Subscribe to the channel can help. And if there's anything you'd like to say, I always encourage audience participation in the live chat. It could be saying something as simple as go Brookline or go Weymouth. No matter who you're rooting for, we appreciate fans bringing good vibes and sending support out to their favorite team. If you want to give a shout out to your favorite player, that's always encouraged as well. And if you want to let us know where you're tuning in from, that can sometimes be fun with these online live streams that can be watched all over the world. If you notice any technical difficulties, I encourage you to speak up. Anything wrong with the video or the audio, I encourage you to say something. It might be something I don't notice on my end, and it might be something that's an easy fix. And then, of course, as always, if I am butchering the pronunciation of any players' names, I encourage you to correct me in the live chat. Just double checking my spot with the camera after zooming in and out. So Brookline on the left, Weymouth on the right here in the first half. Weymouth to get the opening possession. Official signals both sides. Warriors and Wildcats. Here we go. Pass goes out to the near side to number 12, Tara Quinn. Quinn sends it to the back line to, I want to say, number 23, Molly Tufts. Tufts sends it out to the far side. Numbers on the far side going to be a little difficult for me to parse this late at night when it's this dark, but bear with me. I'll get them as best I can. Long pass across goes up to number 21, Maddie Palmer, who tries to fight through. Brookline defense comes up with a stop. Collected by number 19, Sydney Freeze, sent forward to number 17, Lila Cannon. Sent across to number 24, Emma Eisenhower, up to Amra Ukamadu. Ukamadu tried to touch pass through, too much traffic, booted away by Tufts. Knocked down by Brookline into open space where it's recovered by Eisenhower. Eisenhower lost her footing there, and it's stolen away, but knocked right back by Anna Leshley. Leshley off to the races, trying to send a leader through, walled off by number 25, Sky Gibbons, taken back by Vilena Chernichev. Passed up to Ukamadu, who gets walled by the wing defender. Recovered by Haley Ament, sent back up to Ukamadu. Ukamadu cuts around a defender, winds up and fires, walled off by Tufts. Ament takes the loose ball, fakes, cuts in, sends a pass through the middle to Cannon. Cannon turns around, manages to deflect it back to Eisenhower, who touches it over to Chernichev, tries the leader, kicked away by Tufts. Sent up to Palmer. Palmer sends it further forward. And swooping in and taking it up the line is Quinn. Quinn kicks towards the middle, knocked down by Nora Shue. Recovered by number 10, Katie Fuller. Kicks it up, knocked away by Babette Hall. Recovered, and a long shot going to be taken off the hop by Chloe Price. That shot came from number 11, Ava DeWitt. Rolled into Hall. Hall dribbling, gets around one and has some space. Kicks it up to Eisenhower. Eisenhower spins off the defense of Fuller, but her pass intercepted by DeWitt. DeWitt over to Fuller. Now out to Quinn on the near side. Quinn stops, turns around, sends a pass back to Tufts. Tufts kicks it out to the far side, bouncing, and cannot be kept in bounds. Racing up for it, I believe, was number 16, Becca Brooks. Shue throws it in up the line for Brookline. Battling was Lila Cannon, tried to send it upfield, it's kicked away. Recovered by Fuller, sends it forward. Shue gonna get there first. Shue spins off the forward pressure, kicks it up to Freeze. Freeze taken away, pass to the middle to Fuller. Fuller sends it back. Now a kick out to the near side, cut off by a teammate, but then sent forward for Quinn. Quinn tries a crosser, walled off by Julia Vianello. Vianello kicks it away, goes over the head of Palmer and out of bounds. Quinn setting up to throw it in. Throw in goes off the head of, I want to say, Eisenhower. It was Eisenhower, and so that'll be Weymouth ball. Quinn throws it in. It's knocked down and dribbling out with it. Pass to the middle, finds its target. That was number 18, Anna Rice, off the pass from number 19, Ella Scalisi. Now working up the far side is Weymouth. A header deflects it to the middle for Scalisi, but it's booted away by Hall. Recovered by Rice. Rice sends a floating leader in, crashing, a shot, missed. I'm not sure if that one went high or wide. A bit hard to tell from this perspective, but a close chance. I think it was Becca Brooks crashing from the far side who had a real shot at it. And now Weymouth keeping up the pressure as Brookline just has to desperately clear it out. Some sloppy moves off the goal kick from Brookline. Weymouth showing that they are going to bring the pressure with their strikers in this one. Throw in off the foot of DeWitt. Down, deflects, and is booted out by Brookline. Quinn sends it back forward. Palmer sends it to the middle. DeWitt sends it all the way back to number 9, Avery Tufts. Avery Tufts sends it up, it's off the foot of DeWitt and is booted away by Hall, gets up to Freeze. Freeze to the middle to Chernychev. And now back to Hall. Hall fakes, now sends it up the middle, intercepted. Rice winds and fires, walled by Hall. Weymouth testing the Brookline defense early in this one. We're just over 5 minutes into this game. Weymouth already generating some scary chances as this one floats into the box, but Julia Cherwin comes out and grabs it. Punt is sliced. Knocked down by Quinn, gets up to Palmer. Palmer passes to the middle. Knocked away by Leshley, up to Ukamadou. Ukamadou dribbling, sends leader up the middle for Chernychev. Chernychev taking it down the far side, tries a pass for Freeze, intercepted by Avery Tufts. Tufts tries a pass to the middle, almost broken up, but it is collected by Rice. Rice up the far side, intercepted by Shu, sent up to Chernychev. Chernychev turns around, pass back to Leshley. Leshley dribbling, gets through the middle, tries a pass, gets it to Eisenhower, back up to Leshley. Leshley tripped up, but they got ball first, so no call. DeWitt takes it, sends it up for Fuller. Fuller dribbling up, sends a pass, intercepted by Vianello. Pass misses Leshley. Palmer pops it high in the air, out to the far side. Brooks chasing it down. Brooks' header goes off the head of Shu. Brooks and Shu getting tangled up. It's out of bounds, Weymouth ball. Weymouth throws it in, goes off the head of DeWitt, bounces into the box, and is booted right back out by Leshley. Goes off ahead the wrong way, but towards the middle where it's going to be taken by, I believe, Rice. Pass out to the near side to Quinn. Quinn cut off by Ukamadou, but keeps pressing and gets it up to Fuller. Fuller sends it, nobody there, and it's taken by Shu. Shu up the middle to Chernychev. Chernychev trying to fake, gets double-teamed, but manages to get a pass back to Leshley. Now sent back to Vianello. Across to Hall. Hall sends it up to Chernychev. Chernychev turns around. Pass misses Hall. This could spell disaster, but Sherwin hustles. Wait, she can't pick that up. That was a pass from a teammate, so I'm not sure why she was allowed to pick that up, but play keeps going. Pass out to the near side misses Eisenhower, and Weymouth gets another throw in as Brookline looking all sorts of out of sorts here in the opening minutes. Quinn throws it in, goes off the head of Ament, out of bounds. Quinn throws it in for Palmer. Ukamadou takes it away, but a deflection goes right to the middle. Need forward by Leshley. Downed by Cannon. Cannon trying to get control of it, but it's knocked away. Gets up to Scalisi. Now DeWitt chases down the loose ball. Gets a pass to Rice. Sent back to Avery Tufts. Pass forward, and Rice manages to kick it forward, and that's going to be a penalty call against Chernychev, and that's going to set up the game's first free kick. It's from a pretty interesting spot. You know, this is within range for a kick to go towards the net, but it's also an interesting angle where they might try for a crosser. It's around the 25-yard line. I think it's Molly Tufts who is taking it. Kick sailing in. Header saved by Cherwin. It was a good setup, but good positioning by Cherwin as she punts it upfield for Ukamadou, who gets around a defender, passes for Cannon. Cannon gives it to Ukamadou. Ukamadou rushing on the counter. Ukamadou gets around a defender. Gets through another. Still keeping the ball. Ukamadu dribbling in. Jukes back. Tries a pass. Nobody there. And it's kicked away by Fuller. Wall down by Leshley. Leshley stolen away by DeWitt. DeWitt sends it up to Scalisi. Scalisi gets around a defender. Sending a leading pass. Ament, the last line of defense. She kicks it away out of bounds. Both teams showing they have the ability to move the ball upfield in a hurry if they have to. Or in the case of these two, if the opportunity presents itself. Quinn throws it in. Bouncing along, it is booted away by Hall. Downed by Cannon, but it hits her hand, and that's going to be another free kick inside the 30 for the Wildcats. So another scary scoring chance. They managed to get ahead on the ball last time, but it went right into the arms of Sherwin. We'll see what they try here as Tufts lines up for it again. Molly Tufts with the kick. This one's going straight to the net. Over the bar. Boy, those are the kind of kicks that just make you hold your breath. The goal kick simply given to Vianello and sends it back across to Hall. Hall out to the far side to Shu. Shu couldn't fake out her defender, and a crosser sent into the box. It's right to Palmer. Palmer fighting, cleared away by Vianello. Ament with an excellent boxing out job. Pass intercepted. Weymouth will not stop. Quinn, a pass to the middle to Scalisi. Kicked away by Ament, goes out of bounds. We're 12 minutes in. Weymouth dominating the possession game right now. As that goes off the head of Ament, Vianello just barely gets a foot on it to send it out the sideline instead of the back line. So it'll be a throw-in instead of a corner. Quinn throws it in, goes off a head, off another head, down by Ukamadu, left back for, I think, Leshley, now pass to Ament on the near side, up to Ukamadu. Ukamadu fights through one defender, gets tripped up, and draws the penalty. Brookline going to take this free kick with their goalie, Sherwin. They are trying to bring the house to try and counter this possession game as it's tapped to the near side. Quinn going to take it, kick it up the line, and it's going to bounce out of bounds. Ament looking around. Throws it in up the line, goes off the head of Palmer, out of bounds. Throw in for Cannon. Cannon taps it back for Ament. Ament knocked away out of bounds by Scalisi. Throws in. Eisenhower trying to fight but gets double teamed, and Fuller boots it back down in the Brookline end. Scalisi racing after it. Hall gets there first and touches it back to Sherwin, who sends it back out to Hall. Hall bringing it up, pass up to Leshley. Leshley dribbling, sends it forward for Cannon. And a hard collision between three players. No call in either direction as Ament lifts a long leader. Quinn trying to box out Ukamadu. And she does enough for the keeper, Megan Owen, to come out and scoop that one up. 25.5 on the clock here in the first half. No score as of yet. Punt downed by Freeze. Controlled now by Chernychev. Taps it back for Shu. Shu sends it back forward to Chernychev. Sends a leader down the far side. A race between Tufts and Freeze, and Tufts has to tap it out of bounds. Freeze throws it in. Shu kicks it to the middle to Eisenhower. Eisenhower taps it back. A slide to try and keep it, but cannot as Fuller takes it away. Knocked back by Shu, controlled by Fuller. Fuller out to the near side to Quinn, who boots it and flips the field. Vianello in a race with Scalisi, and it simply rolls out of bounds. Throw in, off ahead, downed by Ament. Kicks it up, finds Leshley. Leshley battling, somehow deflects it forward to Ukamado, and then it deflects to the middle to Eisenhower, sent into open space where it's going to be taken by the Wildcats. This is Rice. Rice tries to send it through, intercepted. Racing upfield is Chernychev, sends a long kick up for Ukamado, who patiently waits for it for no offsides. Now taps it forward for Cannon. Cannon trying to go off to the races, but she is cut off and kicked away by Gibbons. We got subs checking in on both sides. For Brookline, number 14, Mirabelle Kesselman, and number 23, Jamison McGee check into the game. And for Weymouth, number 4, Maggie Cullivan comes in. And I think we got another player coming in. Maybe not yet. Throw in up the near side for Ukamado. Keeps it in bounds, battling. It's knocked out of bounds, and it's Weymouth ball. Another sub coming in for Weymouth, number 3, Nikki Morales. Throw in. Headed towards the middle. Fuller going to send it forward. Knocked back by Leshley. Fuller knocks it to the outside. Kept in bounds by Quinn. Deflects off Palmer. Ukamado sends it to the middle to Kesselman. Kesselman kicks it upfield. Downed by Quinn. Quinn tries to clear it but cannot. Ukamado takes it. Ukamado fighting. Ukamado pushed to the ground. No call. It's simply going to be a goal kick. Ukamado did receive a bit of a... No, that's not a goal kick. It's a corner. Correction. Or no, it's a... No, they did call the foul. They did call the penalty as Ukamado got pushed from behind, but it's outside the box, so it's going to be a free kick from a very interesting angle. Slightly similar to a corner. Vilena Chernychev setting up for it. She's got 2 defenders lined up in front of her as she tries to figure out the best angle to kick this one from. She's got basically no shot angle, so she's got to find a way to send in a crosser. This one lifted in high, knocked wide. So both teams have had some crossers into the box. It was knocked out by the defense, and so that is going to be a corner kick on the opposite end for Brookline as they send out Haley Ament to take the kick from the far side. Floating in, header, kicked up in the air by Quinn, and that's going to slice out of bounds and draw another corner. That one might have been grabbed by Owen, but you know, when you're on defense in this kind of situation, you just knock away whatever you see. Brookline trying to dribble through this time. It does not work, and it's kicked away, I believe, by Brooks. Upfield it goes. A race. Knocked out of bounds by Vianello. Scalisi showing that speed once again as she has been applying some consistent forward pressure here in the first half for the Wildcats. McGee chasing it down on the far side, kicks it. Kept in bounds, or not in bounds. Hall couldn't get there, and now it's going to be a corner for Weymouth. Wildcats setting up for the corner. And they're going to send out number 13, Maddie Taylor, to take this kick as she subs in for Becca Brooks. In comes the kick, headed straight up in the air, and it's going to be caught. No, dropped. Missed off the side of the net. Price was trying to grab that one out of the air. I think she ended up going over a Weymouth player, and that almost spelled disaster for Brookline, but Weymouth had no angle to put it in. Brookline trying to work it upfield. It's poked out of bounds by the Wildcats. Throw in from Ament, tapped back to Ament, and she boots it upfield off the head of Kesselman, off the head, off another head, down by Ukamadou, tapped for Kesselman, and back to Leshley. Leshley dribbles around one, off to the races. Anna Leshley sends it upfield to Ukamadou. Collision knocked out of bounds by Quinn. Ament looking. Throws it in. Off of deflection. I think that went off Kesselman, and it will be Weymouth ball. We're over halfway into this first half, less than 19 minutes on the board before the break, as that one is headed out by Ukamadou. Another throw in off the head of Taylor, booted up in the air by Leshley, off the head of Chernychev, off the head of Cannon, downed by Chernychev, and Chernychev manages to get it forward to Cannon. Cannon dribbling, sends it up the far side for Freeze. Freeze dribbling against Tufts, cuts back. Still fighting, gets around. Freeze staying with the ball, but being forced several which ways, passes it back to Leshley. Leshley cuts around a defender. Leshley racing, trying to gain the edge, sends in a crosser, sent through, kicked away. And that one is missed by the defender, and it's taken by the Wildcats. They're off to the races, 3-on-3. Sending a leader down the far side. Looking for a cross, and the crosser is walled off by Vianello and booted away by Hall. Gets up to Leshley. Again, the fast counterattack potential both of these teams have. If your rush fails, you cannot blink. You have to be able to get back. Pass through the middle. Rice sends it out far side. Misses out of bounds. Got a whistle. Substitutions coming in for Brookline. Number 9, McKenna Hammond. And number 20, Amalia Lindgren-Palm. Replacing Lila Cannon and Amra Ukamadou. Throw in is tapped back to Leshley. Now over to Chernychev. Chernychev sends it back to Vianello. Vianello dribbling. Boots it. Knocked down. Leshley taps it up in the air. Corralled by Ament. Ament walled off, and it's knocked out of bounds by Fuller. Ament throws it in, headed out by Quinn. 16.5 on the clock here in the first half. Ament, throw in, knocked out of bounds once again. Ament throws it in, gets to Hammond. McKenna Hammond couldn't keep control of it. But they say it was knocked out by the Weymouth defense, and so this is going to be another corner for Brookline. Ament setting up for the corner. Usually from this side they would have Nora Shue kick it, but she's currently on the bench. Ament sends in a line drive, knocked down, and corralled by the Weymouth defense. That's Quinn clearing it up the near side to Scalisi. Scalisi battling, and it's stolen away by Lindgren-Palm. Pass back to Ament was out of bounds. It is nice to see several Brookline boys varsity soccer players chiming in the live chat today. From Jackson McGee, let's go GVS. Jamie McGee is my favorite player. From Alex Magula, here we go GVS. From Eamon Boschel, vamos GVS. and from Wally Lawrence, LFG GVS. All 4 of those names are names of varsity boys soccer players for Brookline this year. So happy to see the soccer teams supporting each other. Anna Leshley bringing up the ball, sends it out far side to Freeze. Freeze trying to gain the edge once again. Sends a pass through, but nobody was there. Threaded the needle, but there wasn't another white jersey in that area. Now Weymouth dribbling with it. Pass out to the near side to Quinn. Quinn manages to kick it away. Up to the far side. Cut off briefly by McGee. But that one is going to slice and roll out of bounds. Away from, I think, number 20, Caitlin McHugh. Sub checking in, number 2, Maeve Grable into the game, replacing Katie Fuller. Still no score here in the first half, 14 minutes on the clock. And they call a penalty on Weymouth on that play. Free kick coming up for Brookline. Looks like it's going to be taken by Hall. And Hall simply kicks it back to Vianello. Vianello sends it up the middle to Leshley. Leshley dribbling, sends it out to the near side to Ament, who sends it back to Leshley. Leshley takes off through a hole. Met by Taylor and passes it back to Vianello. Now back to Hall. Hall up the middle to Chernychev. Chernychev kicks it way up to Kesselman. Kesselman dribbling, taps it back to Chernychev. Brookline biding their time on this possession as Leshley sends it back again to Hall. Now forward to Leshley. Leshley sending it up the far side for Freeze. Freeze controls it. Trying to juke back and get around Tough. Sends a pass for Leshley. Leshley turning around, dribbling towards the middle. Fakes back. Dribbles, fires, walled. Off the deflection corralled by Freeze, but knocked away from behind. But it deflects back to Leshley. Sends it back to McGee. Now to Leshley. Forward, misses. Kicked away by Avery Tufts. Scalisi slipped on the ball, but it's recovered by Grable. But then Grable lost her footing, and it's taken away by Freeze. Pass forward, collected by Hammond. Hammond sends it forward, but nobody there, and it's booted away by either Molly Tufts or by Gibbons. That one went over Hall's head. She has to send it back to Sherwin, who desperately gets it away as she couldn't pick that one up. Passed it out to Ament. Ament dribbling, sends it up for Leshley. Leshley pushed from behind, but Brookline keeps possession, so I think they're just letting them play. Kesselman sends a leader. Hammond crashing in, and she couldn't get there in time, and it's scooped up by Owen. Owen punts this one. Booted back by Vianello. Up to Chernychev, who couldn't keep her footing there. It's taken away by Grable. Grable dribbling, cut off by Kesselman, and it's sent back to Hall. Now further back to Cherwin. Cherwin out to the far side to McGee. McGee up the line, deflected, but Freeze still keeping with it. Freeze sends it up to Hammond. Hammond sends it forward for Kesselman. Kesselman surveying her options, winds and fires over the bar. Subs checking in now for Brookline. Number 1, Paige Hammond. Number 8, Juliana Siegel on the field for the first time. And returning is number 16, Nora Shue. Subbing out, Anna Leshley, Velena Chernychev, and Jamison McGee. Goal kick goes right to Lindgren Palm, but deflects the wrong way off her leg, and that's going to roll out of bounds. 10.5 on the clock here in the first half. It's going to be interesting to see how Brookline's transition game works here with both Leshley and Chernychev on the bench. They've been 2 of Brookline's strongest middies throughout the season in terms of working that ball upfield, so we'll see what Brookline works with here We'll see if the bench players can come through with some big plays. Paige Hammond sends it back to Hall. Hall upfield bouncing through. It gets past everybody and is going to simply roll out of bounds. And this will be Weymouth ball. I believe that's Cullivan who actually threw that in. Like I said, a bit hard to read the far side, but now it's taken off to the races. Pass across, knocked away by Ament, was intended for Quinn on the near side. Now headed forward and taken by Siegel. Siegel dribbling, matched up by the defender who kicks it away out of bounds. Throw in from Shu. Fighting for it is Freeze, and she gets a pass away to Vianello. Vianello sends it out near side to Ament. Ament up the middle finds Paige Hammond, sent back to Hall. Hall up the far side to Freeze, deflects and taken away by Rice. Rice kicks it forward, knocked back by Shu. Shu dribbling upfield. Taps a pass out to the outside to Freeze. Give and go back to Shu. Shu racing. Shu working upfield. Deflected, and it is knocked out the sideline by the Weymouth defense. They prevent the corner. Throw in, tapped back for Freeze, but she did keep it in bounds. Sends in a crosser, knocked away. Racing in is Hammond. Hammond trying to stay with the ball, but she's outnumbered, and it's taken away. This is Taylor racing upfield. Taylor sends a leader, walled by Hall. Hall trying to fend off Taylor. Her pass might be a bit errant. Scalisi fires off the post! Rebound being fought for, and it's knocked wide of the net. Oh my gosh! Brookline almost gave one away there. That shot from Ella Scalisi went far side out of the reach of Cherwin and off the post. Scalisi now checks out. So does Sydney Freeze for Brookline. Coming back into the game for Brookline, Amra Ukamadu, and for Weymouth, Maddie Palmer. Up the far side, it's lost out of bounds. Weymouth ball. 7.5 left here in the first half. Throw in off a foot. Kicked back, I believe, by Shu. Controlled by Rice. Sent up the far side. Intercepted by Shu. Up the line to Ukamadu. Ukamadu up the middle to McKenna Hammond. Hammond kick walled by a defender, and she sends it back to Hall. Hall sends a pass back to Vianello. Vianello up the middle to Kesselman. Kesselman sends it back to Ament. Ament up the line, knocked back, gets to Palmer. Palmer intercepted by a sliding Kesselman, but Kesselman tried to kick it while she was still down on the turf, and you can't do that, so that's going to be a free kick for Weymouth. Molly Tufts setting up for a free kick from midfield. Bouncing past everybody, and it's going to be taken off a couple hops by Cherwin. Given to Ament. Ament manages to barely get it away to Vianello, who sends it to the outside to Lindgren Palm. Lindgren Palm to the middle to Hall. Hall surveys, kicks it up the far side for Siegel. Now back to Shu. Shu back to Hall. And back to Cherwin. Cherwin sends it out the near side to Ament. Ament gets around one defender, racing up the near side. Now racing further and cut off by Gibbons as Lindgren Palm was trying to race up for that one. But good transition work by Ament. Throws into McKenna Hammond. Back to Ament. Ament dribbling. Gets around a defender. Couple players fighting for it with Gibbons. And out of the scrum, Lindgren-Palm with the ball, trying to keep it in. Pass back to Ament, back up to Lindgren-Palm. Walled off and knocked out of bounds. And my mistake, that wasn't Gibbons. I think that was Quinn. Off ahead, controlled by Palmer. Walled by Ament. Ament touches it forward to Hammond. McKenna Hammond, a pass to an open Siegel. Siegel taps it for Ukamadu. Ukamadu trying to fight through. Knocked away. Controlled now by Weymouth. Pass out to Palmer. Knocked out of bounds by Ament. And I think they actually called the penalty on Ament for that body check there. And so it's going to be a free kick from Molly Tufts. Kicked back by Kesselman, and it goes right to McKenna Hammond. Hammond stopping, looking, lifting one, knocked down by number 15, Riley Keneally. Now Brookline working it up the far side. This is Ukamadu trying to race around the defender and gain the edge. She cannot. It's knocked out of bounds by Weymouth. Shu throws it into Ukamadu. Ukamadu trying to work her way around again. And the defense outnumbers her, and it's booted away, I believe, by Molly Tufts. Recovered by Vianello. Pass misses, and it's going to be chased down by Grable. Pass to Palmer. This pass deflected by Paige Hammond, who gives it to Ament. Sends it back up, but deflected and knocked away. Goes back to Keneally. Now up to Palmer, deflected away, but it goes right to Grable, who sends it forward for Taylor. Hall couldn't wall it off this time as it's pushed forward, but too far forward, and it's taken by Sherwin. Sherwin boots it. Bouncing, and it's walled down by Gibbons, kicked upfield, off the foot of Palmer, and it's simply going to be scooped up by Sherwin. A little less than 3 minutes left in the first half. Still no score here in Weymouth. Vianello dribbling. Pass, maybe a miscommunication there. Stolen away. Sent forward to Taylor. Taylor's shot deflected by Vianello, but a recollection. And it's knocked out of bounds. That'll be a corner. That was Nikki Morales crashing there. Corner kick coming from the far side. As a couple subs come in again for Weymouth. Set up for the corner. Sailing in over everybody off the head of Lindgren-Palm, but headed back into the box. Booted away, I believe, by Hall. Lindgren-Palm kicks it upfield. Chased down by Keneally. Keneally battling with McKenna Hammond. Passes it back to Gibbons. Gibbons sends it across to Molly Tufts. And Tufts barely gets the pass away from a crashing Ukamadu. Sent out the far side. Kick walled by Shu, but recovered. Sent forward by DeWitt, but kicked away by Hall. Off ahead. And taken down the far side. Kick to the middle. Taylor knocked away by Hall. Gets up to Ukamadu. Ukamadu off to the races, sends a long kick up the near side, and Keneally watching Lindgren-Palm behind her. Lindgren-Palm trying to battle it away from Keneally, and she does. And she sends a pass to Hammond. Hammond trying to keep with the ball, and she does, but they got to reset. Pass back to Ament. Ament cuts around a defender. Still dribbling, but cut off by Palmer, and it's kicked away by Molly Tufts. Vianello boots it back forward. Walled by DeWitt. Her kick taken by Ament, sent up, knocked down, and fighting for it. It's knocked away and kicked forward by Keneally, taken but knocked away from Siegel. Kicked back by Ament, up to Kesselman. Kesselman back for Ament, cut off by Palmer, but Ament recovering. Passes back to Vianello, who boots it back upfield. Keneally takes it, kicks it. Knocked by Vianello, taken by Palmer. Palmer sends it forward for Taylor. Taylor couldn't quite get fully around Hall, and Vianello comes in and kicks it out of bounds. But they called a penalty, I think, on Palmer for knocking into Vianello that time. Excuse me. Sherwin. And right there is the whistle for halftime. No score at the half, despite plenty of excitement. Score at half, Brookline 0, Weymouth 0. At this halftime intermission, I would like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about the Brookline Food Pantry. The Brookline Food Pantry provides groceries to Brookline residents in need of food assistance. The pantry saw a huge increase in demand for food assistance at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, and that number has remained steadily high ever since. The food pantry has been serving an average of 650 households each week, more than 4 times the rate of families served pre-COVID. Brookline Food Pantry is fighting the good fight against hunger in our community, and they are always looking for more people willing to lend a hand, whether through monetary donations, direct food donations, or volunteers in the pantry. Food donations can be made at United Parish Church at 210 Harvard Street in Brookline on Wednesdays and Fridays from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Monetary donations can be made online at the food pantry's website, brooklinefoodpantry.org. Go online or call 617-800-5339 for more information about how you can help the Brookline Food Pantry to feed your community. Once again, that's brooklinefoodpantry.org or call 617-800-5339. And as always, you can find all the information about our local charity spotlight, link and phone number in the description section down below, where you can also find a link to the official Venmo account of Friends of BHS Soccer, the official booster club for the Brookline High boys and girls soccer programs, varsity, JV, and freshmen. They serve all 6 teams. So if you want to give support to the Brookline High soccer program, check out the link to their Venmo account in the description. But for now, 0-0 the score here at the half. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, live at Weymouth High School in Weymouth, Massachusetts. I'm going to take a break and mute the mic, but I will be back with the second half of this ball game. Stay tuned. Hello, everybody. Back on the mic. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from the campus of Weymouth High School in Weymouth, Massachusetts. Bringing you live coverage of tonight's, I should say, varsity high school girls soccer contest between the visiting Brookline High Warriors and the hosting Weymouth High Wildcats. And I see, while I was taking my halftime break, we got a question in the live chat from Jackson McGee. Jesse, what's your thoughts on the GVS season so far, and how do you think they get a result tonight? Well, that's a good question, Jackson. I've been pretty impressed with the season so far. This is a team that historically has really hung its hat on its defense, and they lost a lot of defensive talent. I've said it over and over. And a lot of the key defensive players here came into really a no-win situation. I mean, Julia Cherwin just started playing goalie this past summer, and she's taking over for, back-to-back college-level goalies in Juliana Anastopoulos, who graduated a couple years back, and Talia Thompson, who graduated last year. That's a major no-win situation, and, maybe she's not as talented in net, or at least not experienced in net as those two, but the poise she's shown while facing down, multiple games, let in 2 goals in 4 of the first 5 games she started between the pipes. But give her a lot of credit. She has not allowed a multi-goal game since that game at Wellesley. And give a lot of credit to the offense because they picked up a lot of the slack. They've been scoring a lot. I mentioned how Amr Ukamadu has already matched her goal total from each of the past 2 seasons, which is incredible. Sydney Freeze, who was a defensive specialist, tied for the team lead in goals. Vilena Chernichev, and Anna Leshley have done an excellent job through the midfield, because that's another place where they lost an incredible talent in Sari Frankel, who is also at the college level, at the Division I college level over at Fordham. And, Brookline has really seen some great moves from the next women up. I could go on and on. I think Julia Vianello has really impressed me. Last year she was just sort of a depth piece coming off the bench for Brookline. Now she's a center back as a sophomore, and she's doing a great job. Sort of similar to the way Sydney Freeze came in as a freshman center back 2 years ago and just took over a really critical spot on the field. Nora Shu has stepped up in a big way on the wing now as an upperclassman. She was a backup last year. Now she's a starter Brookline regularly relies on. And Haley Ament, as a freshman, she has got great transition speed up the wing. And she's just a freshman, so that's a lot of exciting stuff for the future. So I've been enjoying this season a lot. I think there's a lot to be happy about if you're a fan of Brookline GVS. As for today, they're going to have to find some way. They got to find some ways to improve their transition game. It struggled, especially in those early minutes. I was talking to some parents during the break. And they were talking about how this might be a slightly bouncier surface. And so the way Brookline plays, it's like it takes an extra touch for them to get moving, whereas Weymouth very much just go, go, go. And that's served them well. So Brookline's got to be able to adapt to the situation here if they want to try and find an opportunity to take the lead. Here we go. Start of the second half. Brookline with the opening possession. Passing it around. A nice fake by Babette Halt. Send it up to Vilena Chernichev. Chernichev, pass through the middle to Lila Cannon, who taps it to the outside. Racing in to get it is Chernichev. She sends it up the line, but that's going to curve out of bounds. Was trying to lead for Amr Ukamadu. Another thing one of the parents mentioned is the speed of the wingbacks for Weymouth has been quite amazing because it's not many teams that can keep up with the speed of players like Amra Ukamadu and Sydney Freeze along the wings, as both Brookline wing strikers have kind of struggled to gain the edge the way they normally do. Kicked back and forth, and it winds up at the foot of a Weymouth player, sent down the near side to number 16, Becca Brooks. Brooks matched up A battle for the ball. They're still scrumming. And it's finally kicked away by Nora Shue. Hall hung in there and wrestled for that ball with Brooks, and then finally Shue came in as a reinforcement and knocked it away. Throw-in coming from Avery Tufts, thrown in, trying a spin. It's knocked away by Emma Eisenhower, but recovered by Ava DeWitt. DeWitt turning around pass to the middle for, I believe, Ella Scalisi. Goes back to DeWitt, gets tripped up by Leshley. DeWitt comes in, shot blocked by Hall, and the rebound recovered by Anna Leshley. Leshley dribbling with it, turns around, gets tripped up by DeWitt. No call. Leshley pass back to Hall. Pass further back to Julia Vianello, who dribbles through one. Pass to the outside to Eisenhower. Eisenhower working up the far side, kicks it upfield, walled by the defense. Kicked back by Chernychev, finds a target. Now sending it through for Ukamadou. Ukamadou trying to turn around, but she juggled the ball and it was kicked away, I think, by Molly Tufts. Recovered now by Sydney Freeze. Freeze sends one through far side. Swooping in out of nowhere is Ament. Haley Ament dribbling. Fires. And it bounces just wide. Good watch by Megan Owen. You saw Brookline trying to work that one up the middle that time, and that could be a potentially interesting plan of attack. They're also going with some sort of sneaky leaders down the wings, where they're leading for players that are just like, you know, an entire like county away from the ball. So we'll see if maybe that turns into something. In the meantime, DeWitt takes the ball, taps it out for Brooks. Brooks sends it back up for DeWitt. DeWitt disrupted, taken away by Leshley. Leshley moves it forward. Ukamadou swoops in and takes it past to the middle. Knocked away by Sky Gibbons. Recovered by Eisenhower, sent back to Vianello. Kicked upfield, knocked down by Freeze. And now scrumming for the ball. It's pushed forward. I believe that's Katie Fuller dribbling with it now. Fuller lifts one forward. Knocked back by Hall. DeWitt tried to corral it, but instead it's controlled by Leshley. Passed out to Shue on the near side. Shue gets walled off by Brooks, and it's recovered by DeWitt. DeWitt tries to pass one back, intercepted by Shue. But Shue boxed out by Brooks. Brooks could not keep it in bounds. It'll be Brookline ball. Shue throws it in. Knocked back by Molly Tufts. Walled down. Scalisi fighting through. Forces a shot, but she couldn't get enough on it while she was still tangled up with the defense. And the shot easily scooped up by Julia Cherwin. Punted across midfield, downed by Molly Tufts. Racing around the near side, pushes it up to Maddie Palmer. Now sent through the middle. Attempted leading kick, walled off by Shue. Sent up to Chernychev. Chernychev sends it forward for Ukamadou. Ukamadou controls it. Ukamadou racing around the edge. Cuts back. Cuts to the middle. Winds and fires. Bounces wide. Interesting to note that Ukamadou and Freeze have swapped sides. Ukamadou was the right side wing for most of the first half. She did come back in on the left side wing when Freeze went to the bench, but now Freeze on the right side wing, Ukamadou on the left. And it is Freeze taking this ball here, dribbling, still forcing her way through. Gets it through to Chernychev. Chernychev to Ukamadou. Ukamadou cutting across the middle, tries a shot walled by Tufts, and it's kicked away. Now Weymouth rushing on the counter. Scalisi using her speed, going down the near side, tries to send one through to the middle, knocked away by Hall, and I think it was out of bounds anyhow. Another comment in the live chat from Harry Flint, a simple LFG Brookline. Again, love seeing all the Brookline people giving support here. Throw in coming from Avery Tufts. Goes off the head of Scalisi, off the head of Leshley. Chernychev knocks it back, and it gets to Shu. Shu kicks it up to Cannon. Headed away by Molly Tufts. Goes up to number 18, Anna Rice. Pass back, and now sent forward to DeWitt. Back for Rice. Rice fends off Chernychev and collects the ball, sends it out to the near side to Brooks. Brooks sends it down the line to Scalisi. Crosser into the box, well down by Vianello, but now a battle for the ball. And it's knocked away from the striker and kicked out of bounds. Boy, when the two players got tangled up, if that ball ricocheted a different way, that could have been a scary scoring chance for Weymouth. Bouncing along, it's going to go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Wildcats. Molly Tufts throws it in off the foot of DeWitt, and now deflects, goes out of bounds. Weymouth ball. Throw in, down, goes back to Avery Tufts, popped towards the box, but it's going to be taken off 2 hops by Cherwin. Cherwin thought going one way and then decides to punt it. It's downed by Rice, headed forward by, I want to say, Eisenhower, and then knocked back to Leshley, now out to the far side to Freeze. Freeze bringing the ball up, pass up for Chernychev, give and go back to Freeze. Freeze racing, gets one through to Chernychev. Chernychev with an open chance, saved by Owen. Brookline offensively looking much better this half, but they need something to find the back of the net. Booted up by Vianello. Cannon taps it to the outside. Shu swoops in and takes it. Shu cuts back towards the middle, sends one forward, bounces away from Cannon, and it's going to be scooped up by Owen. Sliced on the punt, and it deflects the wrong way, out of bounds. Shu throws it in. Cannon pass back to Shu. Shu sends it to Cannon. Cannon fakes one way, tries to go forward, but disrupted by Gibbons, and it's kicked away. Battling out with it is Molly Tufts. Gets it forward to Scalisi, and Scalisi gets around Hall. Scalisi off to the races again. Being chased by Leshley. Scalisi sends one to the box, and it's caught easily by Cherwin. Leshley with good get-back speed to cut off Scalisi's angle there on the approach. Off a couple deflections, it winds up with Freeze. Freeze sends one forward to Ukamadou, taps it out to the near side to Chernychev. Chernychev surveying, sends one forward to Ukamadou. Ukamadou cuts towards the middle, winds, fires, deflects off a defender possibly. Or did it? It might just be, no, it's just a goal kick. It just curved. I thought it deflected off a defender, but it just curved. That's my fault. Goal kick from Owen. Header. Ball's knocked back and forth. Gets up to Scalisi, who gets tangled up with Leshley, and then Eisenhower gets tangled up with DeWitt. And I think they blew the whistle on Leshley there. Free kick from their own 49-yard line. It's going to come from Molly Tufts. Tufts boots this one high, off the head of Leshley and off the head of Chernychev. Brooks taps it to the middle to, I believe, Rice. Rice gets tripped up, but Brooks fires a shot, and it's caught by Cherwin. But they are going to blow the whistle on the penalty, and it's going to be another free kick for the Wildcats. Molly Tufts setting up again. Pretty good spot to take a shot here. Not the worst angle, pretty good angle actually. And it's from the 25-yard line, which is pretty good distance. Shot bounces wide. McKenna Hammond and Mirabelle Kesselman check in for Brookline now, replacing Lila Cannon and Emma Eisenhower. Goal kick simply given to Vianello, kicked upfield, cut off. Taken, pushed forward, and stolen away by Ament, given over to Leshley. Leshley sends it forward for McKenna Hammond, knocked away, taken back, a long rainbow off the crossbar! The Wildcats have hit the post twice today. Kicked towards the box. Sent forward, headed away. Back to Fuller, and she pops it high. Boy, an almost perfect rainbow shot sent from downtown by Weymouth. Just ends up going off the crossbar. This is Kesselman dribbling with it now. Taps it forward for Chernychev. Chernychev looking, sends a leader. Racing in, Ukamadou could not beat Owen to the ball as she covers it up. Owen punts it. Bouncing along off the head of Leshley. Downed. Leshley sends it forward to Chernychev. Tapped back to Leshley. Forward to Hammond. Back to Chernychev. Chernychev dribbling. Sends one through for Hammond. Deflects a couple different ways and winds up with Rice. Rice's kick deflected out of bounds by Leshley. Throw in, bouncing, gets to Scalisi. Scalisi sends it forward for Brooks, knocked out of bounds by Hall. Avery Tufts. Her throw in kicked away by Leshley off the head of Molly Tufts, corralled by Gibbons. Gibbons kicks it away. Knocked down by Ament, but controlled. Pass gets through the deflection up to Scalisi. Scalisi looking, passing out to the near side to Brooks. Brooks winds, kicks one, goes through, misses everybody, and Ament kicks it away. Gibbons knocked away, kicked forward by Kesselman. Racing after it is Tara Quinn, who pops it up in the air. This is Palmer now dribbling with it. Palmer gets tripped up. No whistle. And so they play on. Looks like some of the players might have expected a whistle, but the officials say ball first. Scalisi now trying to push a long shot, and it's taken off 2 hops by Sherwin. "25 minutes on the clock here in this scoreless game." Chernychev chases down the ball and sends it up to Ukamadou. Ukamadou winds and kicks one. Nobody there. And it's taken off 2 hops by Owen. Punted. Off the head of Chernychev over to Leshley. Leshley racing up the middle. Leshley still racing, trying to send one through traffic. Ukamadou almost a chance there. Leshley trying to battle through now. Slides in to get the ball, and she can't get it, and it's kicked out the sideline. Avery Tufts knocked that one out as it's thrown in a little too fast and not far enough down the sideline. Shue throws it in for Hammond. Hammond trying to fight through, and it's kicked away. Goes up the line, and Scalisi's going to keep this one in bounds. Scalisi dribbling, gets around Hall. Scalisi and Vianello tries a shot, far side. It's going to curve wide. Substitution checking in for the Wildcats, number 4, Maggie Cullivan, replacing Avery Tufts. Goal kick tap to Vianello. Across to Hall. Hall pass out near side to Shu. Shu dribbling. Her kick knocked out of bounds by Rice. Substitution for Brookline. For the first time, number 3, Jada Kimbrough comes out onto the field, replacing Amra Ukamadu. Handball on Weymouth. Or no, they called... Oh, official pointed the wrong way, so Brookline does get the free kick off the handball. Leshley setting up to take the kick. Boots it. Off ahead, it's collected by DeWitt. Tapped back to Brooks. Leshley swoops in and takes it. Leshley, one-on-one with Cullivan. Fakes, cuts back in, sends a crosser, kicked away. Corralled by Brooks. Brooks kicks it out the far side. Ament disrupts it, gets it over to Chernychev. Chernychev trying to send a leader down the far side for Freeze. Freeze being boxed out, but still forces it to be kept in bounds. The clear, and we've got a whistle. I think they say it did go out of bounds, and this will be a goal kick. 2 subs coming in for Weymouth, number 30, Maddie Taylor, and number 13, Maddie Taylor, and number 20, Caitlin McHugh. As they come in replacing Becca Brooks and Maddie Palmer. Kick up the middle, downed by Chernychev, but Fuller comes in and disrupts it. Knocked back down by Kesselman to Chernychev, pass back to Leshley. Leshley cuts around one, cuts around another. Leshley still dribbling, still cutting to the outside, looking for somewhere to go. Fights through, Tufts kicks it towards the box, but ran out of room and sends it off the side. It'll be another goal kick. 21 minutes left in this one, still no score. Up in the air, off the head of Kimbrough. Kimbrough takes it. Kimbrough cutting through, sends a pass up to Hammond. Hammond has to pop it in the air, and it goes into no spot for any Warriors, and it's booted away. Ament racing after it, taps it over to Vianello. Vianello biding her time, passes to Ament. Ament trying to cut through. Ament still trying to fend off the forward pressure. It's kicked out of bounds, and it'll be Weymouth ball. Substitution now coming in for the Wildcats. Number 3, Nikki Morales comes in, replacing Ava DeWitt. Throw in, bouncing along. Off the deflection, Fuller tries a shot. Wall down, but then recovered, and that shot bounces wide. Less than 20 minutes left. We are a little over halfway through the second half as Hall sends one way up the near side, way too far out of bounds. Quick throw in from Cullivan. And Scalisi couldn't maintain control of it. Out of bounds. They say last touch by Brookline. Cullivan throws it in. Deflects several ways and is now booted back out of, not out of bounds, now out of bounds. Still Weymouth ball. Another throw in. Deflects back, kicked away, but right to Morales. Now deflects to Scalisi. This shot sliced up in the air, not enough distance on it, and it's easily caught by Sherwin. Rolled into Leshley. Passes to Vianello. Back up the middle to Leshley. To the outside to Ament. Ament racing up the field. Cuts back. Pass to Leshley. Leshley dribbling. Looking. Long kick. Knocked away by Molly Tufts. Now sent forward for Scalisi. Scalisi sending a leader for McHugh. McHugh trying to send a leader for Scalisi. Shot walled by Sherwin. Kicked away by Ament. Now Rice trying to send it back in the box. It's headed away by Hall. Downed by McHugh. Booted away by Vianello. Controlled again. Disrupted by Hammond and Kesselman. But still sent forward. Kicked back by Shue. Swooping in is Molly Tufts. Booting it forward. Headed back by Vianello. Battle for the ball. Kesselman pops it high up in the air. Deflected. Downed by McKenna Hammond. Pass back to Chernychev as things slow down a bit. Chernychev fends off the pressure. Passes back to Shue. Shue dribbling. Sends it back to Vianello. Vianello cuts up the middle. Vianello dribbling way out. Still dribbling, and draws the penalty. Vianello saw how aggressively Molly Tufts was charging out of the center back spot to get the ball and decided she could charge out aggressively as well and draws the penalty around the 41-yard line. Free kick to be coming from Mirabelle Kesselman from about the 39. Sends in a low line drive, deflects, and is taken off the hop by Owen. Owen punts it. Downed by Scalisi. Scalisi stays with it. Dribbling. Stops pass walled by Kesselman, and it's recovered by Leshley. Leshley dribbling, gets around a defender. She's got 3-on-2, but they can't jump off sides. Leshley just taking it herself, and she loses her footing. Leshley had no choice to dribble through because Jada Kimbrough was off sides, and if she sent a pass to a player off sides, it would have killed the play. And now at the out of bounds, they are subbing in Amra Ukamadu in place of Jada Kimbrough. And, you know, that's a learning play right there for the Brookline sophomore. Shue throwing it in again. Couple deflections. Ukamadu swooping in, trying to push it forward. Now this is Freeze. Freeze fires, misses wide. .15.5 on the clock as Owen boots it up the far side. Lost briefly, but recovered. But Hammond still applying pressure. Knocks it loose, but it's recovered by Quinn. Quinn battling with Hammond. Lost out of bounds. Brookline ball. Throw in. Deflects. Kicked back out of bounds. Still Brookline ball. Ament throws it in. Cutting around the edge, I think it's Freeze, sending in a crosser, deflecting up in the air. Ukamadu the header off her own pass, but it's caught by Owen. Owen boots it. Kick goes sideways, collected by McHugh. McHugh sends it forward. Scalisi off to the races again. She's one-on-one with Hall. Sends a crosser through. Too much traffic, knocked away by Vianello. Recovered. Fuller winds, fires. Taken off one hop by Cherwin. Just over 14 minutes left. Still no score. Cherwin punts it. Knocked down by Gibbons. Chernychev had it for a second, but it's taken away. Back and forth, it deflects. Now knocked back by Leslie. Chernychev fends off the pressure on her back and gets a pass to Leslie. Leslie now rushing 4-on-4, but Leslie's got a defender on her back. Sends a leader, deflected by Molly Tufts. Long pass offsides against Scalisi. Free kick coming from Hall from about the 43. Kicks it up. I think this is Freeze. Pass to Ukamadu. Ukamadu gets walled, but swooping in and kicking it back is Leslie. Now Freeze dribbling. Freeze cutting around, trying to gain the edge. Well covered by Cullivan, but she keeps it in play. No, she doesn't keep it in bounds. It goes out the back line. Another goal kick. Substitution coming in now for Weymouth. Number 6. Leah Goodine checks into the game, replacing Nikki Morales. Goal kick. Downed by Hammond. Hammond off to the races. McKenna Hammond trying to gain the edge. Hammond had no angle, and her shot goes wide. Brookline experimenting again with a different forward lineup. They've got McKenna Hammond on the right side wing with Sydney Freeze as the middle striker. Ukamadu manages to tap it over to Leslie. Leslie dribbles around, sends a leader up the far side, up the near side for Shu. Shu dribbling, sends across her walled and kicked away. Bouncing ball corralled by Leslie. Leslie taps it for Ukamadu. Ukamadu sends it forward to Freeze. Freeze trying to cut around several defenders, but too many yellow shirts in there. It deflects away, and now it's a 3-on-3 rush. Dribbling with it, sent to the outside to Scalisi. Scalisi fires, and it's saved by Sherwin. Rushes it out to Ament up the far side. Ament, cross midfield, sends a pass over to Kesselman as she gets tripped up. Kesselman, dribbling, sends it back out to Ament. Ament winds, kicks, deflected out of bounds. Ament throws it in for Hammond. Hammond backing down against Quinn. Knocked out of bounds, stays Brookline ball. Ament setting up for the throw-in, just under 11 minutes left. Deflects down, Brookline ball. Throw in. Deflects several ways, still scrumming for it. Palmer manages to get out with it and pass it to the middle, racing up with it. Kesselman and Chernychev get back and take it away from Goodine. Pass forward a little too far, but Leslie wrestles it away from Rice. Pass back to Shu. Shu kicks it up the line, deflects off a foot. Kept in bounds. Ukamadu takes it. Ukamadu battling. Goes to the ground as the ball gets away. It'll be a goal kick. More strong coverage along the edge by Cullivan. This one left for Molly Tufts. Pops it up near side off the head of McHugh. It gets to Scalisi. Scalisi tries a touch pass, and she gets tripped by Hall to draw a penalty. Molly Tufts setting up to take the free kick from midfield. Launches in towards the box, headed away by Leslie, headed back by Rice, and now a kick floats well wide of the net from, I think, Goodine. Two subs checking in Now for Weymouth, number 16, Becca Brooks, and number 21, Maddie Palmer back into the game, replacing Maddie Taylor and Caitlin McHugh. Kick from Cherwin goes off a foot. Deflecting a couple of times, winds up with Chernychev. Chernychev dribbling, sends it forward, walled by Tufts. Tufts passes out for Brooks. Brooks taking off with it. It's knocked away by Leshley. Leshley manages to keep it in bounds. Now Leshley dribbling with it. Sends a pass, miscommunicated with Shu, and it goes out of bounds. Throw in goes off the head of Leshley, down by Chernychev. Chernychev back to Shu. Shu gets around one, forward to Ukamadou. Ukamadou collects it, dribbling against Cullivan again, but this time cutting towards the middle. Ukamadou stops, passes it out to Hammond on the far side. Hammond racing against Quinn, and the deflection, they say it went off Hammond. Hammond was trying to get it to deflect off Quinn, but it deflected right back off of her. And it'll be a goal kick for Owen. Bouncing along. Down, Hammond passes it back. Ament can't hold it. And Palmer was racing up with it, and it's a penalty against Ament as she grabbed the jersey there. So this will be a free kick with 7 minutes left. Molly Tufts setting up from the 46. Launches it, coming in low. It's knocked right back. Goes to Hammond. Hammond boots it way upfield, and now it's a race. Race to the ball. It's won by Freeze. Sydney Freeze. Shot! In! Sydney Freeze breaks the scoreless tie. I hit the replay button a little late there, so we're only catching the tail end of that, but what a great race up by Sydney Freeze to finish and give Brookline the 1-0 lead. Sydney Freeze assisted by McKenna Hammond. And with 6 minutes left in this ball game, Brookline holds the lead. This ball deflects back and forth. Ukamadou kicks it back to Leshley. Leshley puts it up high in the air. And it's booted out of bounds by Quinn. Throw in. Fighting for the ball. It's knocked away. And that'll be another throw-in for Brookline. Throw in. Coming around with it. I think this is Freeze again. Passes it back to Chernychev. Chernychev cuts around, fires a shot. Misses wide. Clock now frozen at exactly 5 minutes on the scoreboard. We are now in stoppage time here in the second half. Only the officials' triple whistle will tell us when this game is over. Off the deflection, it's taken again by Hammond. Hammond kicks it high up in the air, over everyone's head, and it's taken off the bounce by Owen. A good box-out job by Cullivan as this pass comes in low, knocked back by Chernychev up to Ukamadou. Ukamadou trying to keep at the ball. Ukamadou getting around Tufts, but nothing. They call a dead ball. And so whatever the violation, might have called offsides on Ukamadou there, because technically the pass was coming from Chernychev and it was off the kick. So now Chernychev kicks this one way upfield, and it's going to be scooped up by Owen. Sydney Freeze with her team-leading 5th goal of the season off that one, and the adjustment putting Freeze up the middle and Hammond on the wing worked wonders for Brookline there, as both of those players who switched spots ended up getting a point on that one. Hammond, of course, with the assist off the long pass. Ukamadu trying to get around the edge, but Cullivan takes it away. Give a lot of credit to Maggie Cullivan. Covering Amra Ukamadu on the wing is not an easy assignment, and she has taken that assignment very well. Throw in to Leshley. Leshley backing down. Brookline just keeping it along the border to try and kill clock. And now Chernychev pass. It goes around to Leshley. Leshley just holding it again. Now passes it up the wing to Ukamadu. Ukamadu dribbling forward now. Passes for Leshley. Leshley along the edge. Crashing in. Crosser! Saved by Owen. Almost knocked in by Freeze again, but didn't have enough on the deflection. Headed down by Kesselman, but it's recovered by Palmer. Palmer sends it up the far side. Racing up the field. I think it's Quinn. Sends in a crosser too high and just wide of the net. Weymouth has had too many near misses tonight as that one goes out of bounds. And it'll be Brookline ball. Shue throws it in. Off the head of Molly Tufts, and now Freeze kicks it forward. Nobody there except Gibbons. Gibbons sends it up to Cullivan. Cullivan forward. And Rice walled off by Leshley. Leshley now working it up the near side. Sends a leader for Ukamadu. Ukamadu ran out of room. Substitution coming in for Weymouth, number 13, Maddie Taylor, replacing Maggie Cullivan. So an extra striker being added for the Wildcats as they are desperately trying to come back and tie this one. Off Chernychev's head, it goes out of bounds. Brooks throws it in. Knocked down by Shue, out of bounds. Weymouth slowly working their way down the field. Brooks throws in, deflected away, controlled by Scalisi, pass out, knocked away, taken by Ukamadu. Ukamadu racing up, flipping the field, and now cutting towards the middle. Ukamadu slowing down, stopping, turning around, and passing it back to Kesselman. Kesselman sends it out the far side for Hammond, too far, out of bounds. Throw in, knocked back. Quinn kicks it upfield. Deflected, going to bounce out of bounds. Still Weymouth ball. No, it isn't. It's Brookline ball. Throw in, immediately booted out by Weymouth. Throw in off ahead. Hammond racing up for it. Hammond gets walled by the defense, but she's spinning off of it. Tries a pass back. It's knocked away. Corralled by Weymouth. Kicked upfield, bouncing Leshley. Sending it back the wrong way. Kicked back by Vianello. Weymouth taking it back, and a hard slide tackle is going to draw another penalty call. And this will be a free kick. Weymouth running it up fast. Molly Tufts from midfield sends it in low, and it's kicked away by Kesselman, taken by Freeze. Freeze backing down against Tufts. Still just backing down, and now pass it back to Vianello, who pops it up high in the air. Off the foot of Quinn, goes the wrong way. Out of bounds, Brookline ball. And there is your final whistle. The Brookline Warriors secure their 3rd straight victory. The final score here in Weymouth, Brookline 1, Weymouth 0. The lone score of the game coming off the foot of Sydney Freeze, who raced around her defender on the leading kick from McKenna Hammond and made it simple, kicked it low past the goalie for what turned out to be the only score of the game. So Sydney Freeze now with a team-leading 5 goals on the season. McKenna Hammond adds her first, I think that's her first career assist, her first career varsity assist on that one. I'm not sure if she had one last year. She might have. I might be misremembering. But either way, it's her first assist of the season at the very least. Brookline secures its 3rd straight win. And I mentioned Julia Cherwin and how much she and the defense have improved for Brookline this season. This is Brookline's 2nd shutout in 3 games. You know, this is a team that allowed 2 goals in 2 goals each in 4 of its first 5 games, with the only game they didn't allow 2 goals being a game that was called halfway through due to thunderstorms. And now they have not allowed any multi-goal games in their last 4 contests, and they've allowed just 1 goal in their last 3 games. Fantastic defensive improvement from Brookline. And it showed having to defend against a tough opponent like Weymouth. Weymouth does suffer the loss, but I'll tell you, that was a team that looked way better than 19th in the power rankings. Weymouth could be a team to watch out for in the future. But for now, Brookline improves to 6-2-1 on the year as they secure the win. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. For those of you who tuned in for either the varsity or the JV or both in the doubleheader today, I thank you for tuning in. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. We got a boys soccer doubleheader at home against Chelmsford. Hopefully the rain's not too bad on Saturday. But look forward to that. JV game at 1, varsity game at 3. And then this team, the girls varsity team, will be back in action on Sunday at home against Framingham. So be sure to stay tuned for all of those and more. Subscribing to the channel can help. Thank you to all those who brought the good vibes in the live chat today. If there's anything you'd like to say and the live stream is ended, then you can say it in the comment section down below. Also, be sure to go down below to the description section of the video where you can see a link to the official Venmo account of the Friends of BHS Soccer Booster Club if you'd like to send some support out. They support both girls and boys soccer, all 3 levels. So be sure to check out the link to their Venmo. Also, you can find a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Food Pantry. Find out how you can help feed your community. You can also go further down the description section or just check out the bottom right corner of your screen for more information about me. You can check out the URL to my personal website, jessesports.com. Find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. You can also skip past all that and just email me with any questions or requests you may have. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that is going to do it. Brookline 1, Weymouth 0. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan from Weymouth High School in Weymouth, Massachusetts. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.